home earlier than planned today. I got a call from Doug, who got a call from the school that Eliza has a low-grade fever, like 99.8, and has just been kind of lying around. So I went and picked her up, and now we're home. She has some McDonald's, but she's not really hungry, and now she's just laying on the couch with Esther and watching Frozen 2. So I'm going to take this opportunity to clean up the kitchen and maybe bake some cookies in a little bit. It's time to make the cookies, and I'm pulling out the recipe, and I thought I would share this with you. I don't know if I've shared this before, but 2 Christmases ago, my mom gave me and my 2 sisters this recipe book of family recipes that she hand wrote every single one. So I'm pulling out my grandma's Sue Shaver, her orange cookies, and they're just so fluffy and delicious and cozy. And I think it's the perfect first Christmas cookie of the season. And so I'm going to do a little close-up of this if you want to pause and look at it. Yeah, it's just a really good recipe. So let's get going. One of my favorite stories with these orange cookies is that one time when we went down for a family vacation with my grandparents in West Virginia, my oldest sister, my grandma were making these cookies, and they were also sharing a couple of glasses of wine, and they could not remember what they added and what they didn't because they were just having some wine and chatting and just having a really good time, so they had to start the cookies all over. So I think it is only fitting that I bake these cookies the proper way. Eliza is taking a nap, so I thought I would take this opportunity to get outside and clean up the garden a little bit and top off my raised beds with some raised bed mix. This is the first year I'm overwintering a bunch of roses in raised beds like this one, and I'm a little nervous about how it's going to go. So they have these rose collars on them that are filled with straw, and then I'm topping all of the beds up now with new raised bed soil and some compost to hopefully add some more insulation. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm a little nervous because some of the roses that I own are discontinued now by David Austin, and I'm a little nervous about it. So we're just going to try our best. Some of the roses I have in pots, which are back here. This is a compost pile, don't mind it. And these are over by the shed because when there are super rainy, wet, or like snowy or crazy below zero days in the winter, they're going to go into the shed. I'm also contemplating bringing them inside and putting them in the basement. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think just popping them in the shed when there are really, really cold or wet days to protect them from rotting will work, because that was the issue with some of my roses in pots that overwintered last year. They just couldn't survive the wetness of our winter. So we're going to see how it goes. And I don't know, I love gardening because it's just an experiment every year, and every year is a little bit different. So we'll see how it goes, and it feels so good to be outside. I really love gardening and I miss it in the winter, even though winter is my favorite time of year. But I'm just dreaming about all of the new flowers I get to see this next year. And my roses will either be 2 or 3 years old, so they're going to put on quite a show. All of the raised beds have been topped off and they look really great. This is the next area that I'm going to be tackling this weekend probably, because it looks like we're going to have some snow and really cold weather the following week. So sorry for all the noise, but yes, this will be what I tackle next. This is actually where my cut flower garden has been the past 2 years since we moved in. But this next summer, we're turning this area into a patio, and we're gonna have the grill here and some seating, and then a lining like where all of these pots are, we're going to put more raised beds, and that's going to be our veggie garden. And I'll probably sneak a rose or two on an arbor somewhere, and we're gonna have trellises of like sweet pea flowers in the spring, and cucumbers, and just all kinds of good stuff. So I'm very excited for this transformation, but I really need to clean it up and get all of my pots in the shed for the winter. I'm probably going to pour all of the soil into some of the bigger plastic pots, and then move all of the terracotta into the shed so that it doesn't shatter during the cold days. People driving by looking at me like I'm crazy. Yeah, so here it's just all of my annuals that have died back. I do have a lilac, some yarrow, some peonies, a few roses, a grass. Yeah, everything else was annuals. So it's just going to be like chopping all of this down and making sure it's ready to be worked into a patio in the spring.
An owl.
is coming to a close and I am just finishing up for the night. I'm about to head up and take a shower. It's about 10:30 and yeah, just get ready for tomorrow. So it's going to be a little hectic. Both Doug and I are working half days tomorrow. I am going in to the office in the morning and coming home at noon. Eliza's fever has gone down and she's acting pretty normal. She just doesn't want to go to bed tonight, which is super fun. But Doug's trying to help her get down right now. So if you hear any rustling, yeah, we heard her playing and went into her room because the light was on. And she was just playing with her matching game. It's these little like wooden shapes and this little square that has the shape cut out and you just match them together. And she was playing with that. So now he's trying to get her to settle down and go to bed. Yes. So today, what happened today? A little bit of a recap. I went into the office. I saw my friend Jen, and she's working on her half and half triangles wrap. She's been working on it for a year and just finished the first half. So she's bringing coffee tomorrow and we're going to do the transition together, and I have a bunch of Zoom calls tomorrow. Okay, I can't think about it. But I came home with Eliza because she was sick at school, and yeah, what else happened? I made orange cookies and I was in the garden and topped off all of my flower beds, or my raised beds, and I've been working on my Into the Woods sweater, which is my Christmas sweater, one of two. Here it is, and I've made some pretty good progress. So I'm going down the body. I have these amazing Hello Lavender stitch markers. This is an accent marker from one I just got from an update, which I'll show you when there's better light. But I'm hoping to finish the body this week and then start the sleeves. I would love to show you my stripes, but I skipped a few days so that my sweater wouldn't be too long, because I really want the last, I think it's like 6 or 7 days in the sweater. They're some of my favorites and like my favorite combo in the entire palette. So I'm working on that, and it's looking good. It looks like I'm going to be able to finish both of these sweaters by Christmas, which feels nuts. But yeah, that's what is happening. So I'm going to jump in the shower and get ready for bed. I will see you tomorrow.